start to play.
Nice. Okay, fair enough. Let's take some early cash. This is fine. Okay. I'm a little bit surprised by the direction of play of my opponent, but well, this is unorthodox. This is surprising. All right, that's fine. All right, let's keep this as simple as we can. Let's try and make this a three-dimensional opening. I've got some cash. I feel like influence is better here. This is probably a bad move. Honestly, this is not a great move. Yeah, and that's why. Well, let's connect. I don't want to connect underneath. This is a bad play. I'm more than a little bit confused by my opponent's play at this point. It doesn't seem good. All right, let's box you in. You have my permission to make a small, disappointing life. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is terrible. This is terrible for my opponent. What does one look for in an opening in Go? That's a fantastic question. In general, what you're looking for is flexibility and speed. And there are some patterns that we say are generally speaking pretty even for both players. Those are called joseki. And they tend to be extremely situational, but just from a direction of play standpoint, this guy is really, really weird. So this is wide open right now, and I'm going to jump in soon. White doesn't have much. White has some influence here. But all in all, this is a very strange opening for white. Yeah, that's a tiny life. All right, so this move would make a pretty big territory, so we're going to have to do this. What's the right order here? I don't think I force. Yeah. He's going to play down, and then I'm going to Hane. And this person spent a lot of moves making this group alive. So there's no time to play down one more and totally destroy my stones. So what's going to happen is the opponent will play here. I'm going to do this. And that makes this stone completely worthless now. There's no reason for that stone to be cared about. And I can therefore... Do I peep here? If I peep here and he responds, it's really good. If I peep here and he pushes, it's not great. Let's play honestly. This is also a forcing move, so I'm going to make this soon. But if white spins a move to capture that one stone, it doesn't really matter because it's taking two what should be living groups, although this is not alive yet, and connecting them, which is rarely worth much. But it does force this attachment, so it's worthwhile in a moment. Alright, well that's fine. I'll offer you a trade. You've spent a lot of moves in the corner, so yeah, that trade is not in any way palatable. But now white has this really weak group that feels like it has to run, so there's not much that white can do to attack strongly. There's not that much, profit in the corner, but at this point I'm not too concerned about the profit. It's totally fine. I want to attack this. I feel like I should be able to. I don't really have any weak groups. So an attack here should be good for me. I think I start by turning here. Turning here feels right. Suddenly this weird move that white played. White should have connected here instead of playing here. This starts feeling like a bit of a liability to white. And this shape for territory is just so painful. So you have some strong structures overall, and they don't work very well together. There we go. White probably plays here. Yep. That's fine. That lets me... push once more. Play here. Start with this. White feels the need to jump. It's fine. Alright, so now we both have one weak group. I feel like I'm in a slightly nicer position overall. So I can force white into a really cramped shape now. White probably plays here or jumps. Either of those is fine. That's a neat move. That's a really good move. All right. This is still okay. This is such a weird game. This is a really strange... This is a strange game. This group is still completely unsettled as well, so this is a very precarious situation for white. I don't want to play as white here. I'd very much prefer black presently. I think white probably has a sense of that as well. All right. Playing here is really big, but... Alright, I'm gonna ask white to live. It's gonna be pretty tough. This is a difficult shape for white to live with. This is weird. I'm not used to my opponent using time in the same way that I do on this server. Usually I end in Byoyomi and my opponent has like 7 minutes remaining for a 10-minute each side's match. Oh, Unearthly Trance. I did not realize that there was a non-board game Go. I'm so used to using just Go parentheses board game. In fact, when I type in Go, it doesn't have a an auto-completion in my dashboard. So while I'd love to, it seems to not be possible for me. If there's something that you know of that I need to do to make that work. Yeah, Go board game is the only thing that is even close to correct. Lots of like God of War, Gothic, Goal, etc. But no non-parentheses board game Go. Alright, so white should be able to live here. Which is a bummer. Well, Let's just connect all of our stones now, and I can continue the attack on these. Yeah, I'm not sure on Earthly Trance. I'll look into it after this stream. I apologize. Because, yeah, if there's there's artwork for it and all that, that's A+. Alright, so at this point, attacking doesn't give me too much of a benefit, since I don't see an immediate way to kill. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and claim some cash. All in all, I feel that this is still a pretty okay game. What? This white is so aggressive. This white is amazingly aggressive. Oh my gosh. I'm dumbfounded by this. Please excuse my Slack sounds. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Maybe, if I can find the icon for it. Hey, 8-Bit Derp. No, this is Go. It's been one of my favorite games for basically the entirety of my life. Alright, so white's made me into a unsatisfactory shape, but I'm not sure what white hopes to gain from this. Yeah, this is League of Legends. I'm happy for this running fight. This is totally fine. Oh my gosh, this server though. This is such a... I think this might be the most violent server I've ever played Go on. Alright, this is getting a little bit scary, but I think I'm still safe to push one more time. This totally spoils white's plans over here. If this group lives, white just loses. There's nothing for white. Alright, this threatens a connection underneath. Yeah, no kidding, Unearthly Trance. This is such an aggressive server. Oh gosh. Yes, I definitely watched the AlphaGo game.
Yoyomi now starts.
That was such a weird game. It was yeah. It was a very weird game. That's all I've got. I need to get out of that habit. That's a bad habit. I need to use all of my time. Okay, so I've got a connection underneath. So I'm pretty sure what I want to do is jump here.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
But yeah, there was a lot that was surprising in the AlphaGo game. It was a joy to watch. It was not particularly surprising to me to watch Gajie lose to AlphaGo at this point. I was shocked when Fanhui lost, and I was floored when Yisudo lost.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But at this point, a top pro losing to AlphaGo is not surprising. All right, White still can't prevent the connection because White doesn't have time. Yeah, Mario Master, that's true. I'm not good at any game. I am good at no games at all, whether it's speedrunning or board games. I don't know what this White's plan is.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yoyomi now starts.
It's too early. Improbable blobs, yeah, the confuse me so that I misplay plan is definitely something that we might be going for. I can jump out once more. White still can't afford to block. But I need to connect underneath soon. And the hope, White's going to play here. The hope is that I can make a double attack between this White group Yeah, we have to do this. There's no choice. I want to make a splitting attack here. If I can make a splitting attack, that'll be really good for me. If I can't make a splitting attack, I still don't think that White has enough to win. White doesn't feel like things have gone well, to be sure. Unless White has like some sort of devastating attack that I just don't see.
Nine, 8, 7, 6.
Okay. I don't think that's good enough.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There. That's the correct shape. What next, dude?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay. So here denies the eye, for sure. Yep. But white has to connect. And I can play this Hane. This Hane is very painful for white. I don't think that white read this far ahead. Mm-hmm. And I believe that the dangling connection works just fine here. But it opens up a possibility of a really annoying ko. So I might just solidly
9,
connect.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
We'll make the solid connection. This is fine. So I can throw in... If I even have to. I don't think I have to throw in. I'll just Hane here. This is fine.
Nine, 8, 7.
It's fine. If you connect, just play here. I have time to connect. White doesn't have any eye shape. This is fine. Okay. This is a really interesting fight. But I still win. White can't cut.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 Yoyomis left.
This server. This is such a weird server to play on.
9,
I've
8,
never
7,
ever played
6,
against
5,
players who are this
4.
aggressive.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 Yoyomis left.
Is it Mari Minashi? I think it might be.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last Byoyomi. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Okay. I mean, if white's playing to finish the game, that's the only move. So I still don't know how this ends. There we go. But now white can't prevent a connection. I don't think that that's good enough. I think that you still need one more move. I don't think that you can play to cut. See? Is that... I mean, that squeezes, but I don't think that that does what you need. Oh, wow. Yeah,
9,
that maintains Sente.
8.
That's nice.
7.
Here, let's trade. I don't need to kill that group. I've killed everything else.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is such a weird fight. Yeah, this is hard.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Improbable blobs. That peep was weird, just throwing in worked. I'm curious where you meant that. Oops, no, I didn't mean to reply. Huh. Apparently there's no set thank you for the game response. Weird. Is that me? No, that's one. Hey, I eat food. Yeah. Yeah, I won. That was a exciting game for sure. So I was hoping for this. I've never once managed to get this opening on Foxway Chi. This is my favorite opening as black, but I don't think I'll ever see it happen. But since I had this Komoku Stone, just taking cash here felt right. This was weird. Later on, this was super weird. Like, that's an extremely vulgar move. That's not a good move at all. So I had a lot that was prevented because of that. Something like this is more common. Or even without the push. This. But all of these feel really bad when white doesn't have this stone right here. If white wanted to be aggressive, something closer to this would have been better. Although 4 right now is way too early. It's a small move compared to other moves that I can play. My expectation was that we would get this and then white would do something like this. And there's no good feeling here. I probably just play to get Sente. Please? Pretty please? Let me... There we go. Then white probably jumps and then I'll do something like this. Doesn't feel great, but white has 2 areas of thickness that look at each other. At this point, I feel good about the game. White takes a small point. I get to make a Shimari in the upper left. And then this was also very small. I felt really lucky here. I thought we were going to see this, or this is popular recently. Or even just this one. This would have been fine. It's hard to figure out where's best to play as black there. This was weird. I don't know why white decided to touch. I figured we were going to see this. And I was fine with this. This was an okay opening. White's a bit far away, so white owes me another move in this area. So we can't say that white's particularly efficient. I guess that white was worried that if white played maybe like this, I'd be willing to ignore and play like this and attack white's single stone. That doesn't feel great for white. But this was just as bad. The corner's not solid yet. I can still invade. This stone isn't in any better of a position than it was previously. It's just that now white has an issue with me having a really strong structure here. This was greedy. I thought I've got a lot of cash, you know, here and here, so I should play high stones to exert some influence, but All in all, I don't think that that was a good move. I think this would have just been better. It's simpler. It only worked out because I got lucky, and I'm still not particularly happy about the result. Like this feels bad. If I didn't immediately connect, it would have been worse. This was surprising. I figured we were going to have an exchange more like this. If I connect, white just connects underneath. Now white's got cash. But this was weird. I felt really good after this. I thought I'll seal white in, force white to make a small life. If white does this, I'm still not heartbroken about the exchange. Well, I can do something like this, but it's hard for white to really use this Panuki, even though Panuki is really good. This move was a birthday present. White could have just played here. And I could have induced. I could have induced, you know, force white to make life. But all in all, I feel like this would have been a better shape for white. Because now when I invade, the corner plays out totally differently. This was weird. Like, white immediately invades after making a small life. I feel like this is better. Maybe this one, but this doesn't... like, it's not Joseki. Black owes a move here. I think black has to feel a little bit bad about spending all these stones, even though the cash is huge. White later on, white will have this one, which is an annoying invasion, and it's white's right to make. So all in all, we can't say that it's too big. I mean, it's big, but it's not so big, and white gets some influence, and black's wall starts looking really lackluster. So that might have been an okay strategy, but jumping in here was just weird. I was very happy to let white jump in and do whatever. We ended with white taking another, you know, it's a corner, it's not tiny, but I was very happy to have all of this influence looking outward. And on top of that, I had Sente, so I could spoil black or white's corner, which was lovely. I thought for sure white would do this. But this feels really bitter for white. As white, I'm really unhappy. This is rough if you're not going to kill everything, though. Probably should have offered the trade immediately, honestly. I should have played here. And if white plays here, there's so much that white spent in making this small life that it's pretty devastating. I don't know. I felt like the timing was always okay. So jumping here was probably fine too. I don't know when the right timing for that is. It's black's right, but this wasn't a terrible block. But white feels so weak at this point that I think that this was necessary. I don't know of a better way to handle this. The attack overall felt pretty lackluster. I think that I could have played better overall. I was kind of scared of this cutting point. I mean, I could have aimed for the double Atari here, but it helps white more than it helps black, because now white has this one. So suddenly black is running weak as well. There's no possibility of linking up. Even if white gives black a move. You know, this is annoying, but white can always make life here. So white let me link up. That was Christmas present. So I got to prevent that annoying move, which is nice. And then just take some cash. And then white immediately invaded again. This was kind of the theme of this game, which is wild. Just wild. White made me really ugly here, but I've got a connection underneath and I can go over top as well. The connection underneath is Sinte to block, though, and I ignored that in the game, which was a problem. But here white spoils... this is weird. Spoiling your own territory is never good. And I think that white had to foresee that happening when white jumped in here. So this threatens a connection. So, I mean, if white is really serious about killing, you've got a block, which lets me turn. But this is really bitter for white as well, so... So there's no connections yet. White can try and make a connection here, but this elephant eye is kind of hard to deal with. This is annoying. But white's timing for a do or die attack was good. White ignored this. That was one of the aims of this move. I think probably this is a stronger attack overall, but it still feels kind of bitter. And white was hoping to kill this group, and this is something that would make that impossible. But even still, there's a lot here that makes it a really difficult fight for white. There's 3 groups. All of them are weak, and white can't afford to lose any of them, so by this point, the fight felt lost. This was good. I was keeping this... I was keeping that handy whenever, but I didn't want to lose the liberty at 3. So, at any time I can do that to reduce white's liberties. So, improbable blobs. I think that you were talking about here. This worked. I play here. I can still do this. White has to connect. So I'm not sure. Is that... I don't think that's the peep that you're referring to. That can't be. Where white peeped and throwing in worked. And it's around that time. Oh, you must mean here. You were saying here, throwing in first. Yeah, this totally works. Oh yeah, and earlier that would have worked here. I don't feel like it would have. Let's see. Here. That's interesting. This makes the game more interesting for sure. But I don't think... I think that this would have been better. Actually, I think that overall, even in the game, I could have played more strongly. If I just played here, this would have been fine. Cut. What a blunder. Yeah, this is Maari Minashi. I should have read this out, but I was in Byoyomi. I was so afraid of letting this group get cut off that I ignored the fact that it was a eye versus no eye fight. And then I was able to squeeze white. Yeah, this would have been better for me. And then, of course, white also made plenty of mistakes. Throwing in here would have made the game harder to read for sure. I'm going to go ahead and suspect that it was harder to read for white as well, so white avoided it. But I probably would have made a mistake here, because this took me more than 30 seconds to find the path for black to have benefited overall here. So this was fine. This was good for white. Alright, so now we've got that peep. Was this even... I mean, it's connection. Why not? And then connecting here. And yeah, white never had a chance. This could have been scary, but not really, because I still had this one. And all of my liberties are outside. So it's what, 5 to 6 outside liberties, and if white ever tries to take this liberty away, that turns into a really scary situation for white. So this is, yeah, there was nothing left. White did the right thing by resigning. This was a fun game. This was a really, really good game.